Rock and Brothers need to stick together, and 3 new members on that. Cut, 2 players, rock and roll, wipe the roster clean, start again. Less of that, though, more about this. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oxygen Supremacy taking on Team EnVyUs. Dave kicking things off with the man, the myth, the goddamn legend, Pistola.
Yes, he is the wizard, and look at Envy getting off to a strong start. That is 2 kills on the board. A camo in the hands of Pistola. One of the sneakiest players. He doesn't even usually need that.
The wizard himself, and thrust back. Can he get this final kill? Whiffy shots from both players there. Unfortunately, he goes down. And we're also going to see, I believe that's potentially Hook with the OS. Snap down with the Rockets, gets taken down himself, so Rockets now out of the command of any single player. Miquin steps up to the shoes of where Pistola ended up losing his. He's going to step up into top catwalk. Blue Bend also in control. What a grenade! What an absolute grenade. Takes out one player. One of his teammates going to finish up there, making sure top cat is clear. Now he rotates back. And this is kind of what we saw, I believe it was from Eco in the previous round, and Royal 2 also, where you can just kind of hang around this base and watch your 2 plots. Fair enough, he's getting pushed hard from top catwalk. Somebody needs to take out that player that's moved in security. He does have a player in front of him, Dave, potentially to give him this support, and that's going to be sniped down. Yeah, and they're just doing a really good job working together, just trying to hold on this catwalk. Like you said before, doing a really good job just staying in those spots where you can watch 2 different strongholds at the same time. Let's go on over, though, to one of the members of Oxygen Supremacy. See what Ryan Noob is doing, because he and his team did a really good job there, taking over security and taking over catwalk. Now, one thing that concerns me about this series, if I'm an Oxygen Supremacy fan, is that in the previous matches, sure, when they're going against Luminosity, you're playing against a really tough squad. However, when you have to get in one-on-ones, I don't know if they match up nearly as well against EnVyUs compared to some of those earlier rosters, because we always highlight how good certain players are. Someone like Victory X or someone like Ninja, clearly all top players. But when you try to think of how good of a shot, when you look at like Miquin, Pistola, Snipe Down, Hook, all 4 of those players are so scary to go up against 1 versus 1. And now, just as you mentioned it, Dave, the Team EnVyUs train is opening up and it is going fast. OS gets burned. Triple cap in effect for Team EnVyUs. They've taken the lead. They were down by about 10 points before. Contra will kind of slow the bleeding for a few seconds. Maybe potentially even get a stop here if they can get control of catwalk. I've just seen a Team EnVyUs member go steaming through bottom mid. You saw the thrusters and the jetpacks kicking in there as he kicks down bottom mid. 2 members will poke out the window. They also do get the reset on catwalk, as we do see now. I believe it's absolutely destroyed. He's trying to make something happen on top cat. But you look at Ryan, if you look at the kill feed at the moment, that's pretty much the last 4 kills have all been Oxygen, where we see 1 team member of EnVyUs who can gain a kill. And now, 1, 2, 3 plots, they're all in the favor of Oxygen.
Yeah, that's quite odd. The fact that they went from a trip cap for EnVyUs going straight to a trip cap for Oxygen Supremacy. I really don't know how they fully flipped that. Seemed like they were really calm. Like, you notice how Contra somehow was contesting Red Nest while the rest of his teammates were dead and staying alive, just doing so much damage there. If you think about how much ground Contra's covered over the last 60 seconds, 90 seconds, he hasn't really left red base.
And unfortunately, in not leaving it, that means it's actually going to be his demise if he does fall. Nemesis gets a cracking grenade, but unfortunately there's one that comes in a little bit too more fresh from behind. Down he goes now. 1, 2, 3 members of Oxygen. They will push hard over onto Nest, but that's not going to work. As unfortunately, EnVyUs once again for the 3rd time this game, they do take full control. Now looking at the kills really quickly across the board, and I'm going to be honest, it looks like he's still actually going to potentially be in the favor here of Oxygen.
Yeah, we'll have to see at the end with the stat screen and see how these squads are going at it, because based on just what we've seen thus far, it seems nearly even, you know, possibly slightly in favor of Oxygen, but I really am not certain. And actually, we just looked at the crawler there, and it is 25 kills for Oxygen and 24 kills for EnVyUs.
So Team EnVyUs, they do have a lead, but it's very fragile. But look at this. OS in the hands of one player. Rockets in the hands of Pistola. EnVyUs, they want to come back swinging. They lose the lead, but it's only going to be for 1 second. All the goodies and all the toys in the back pocket of Envy. Pistola waiting for one player to come around this corner. He is going to be called out, though, as that grenade does come in. Tags him up, so the hit markers will be shown. The player will know exactly where he's hiding. Then again, he's waited here for so long, Dave. Give me your thoughts on this play.
Yeah, I mean, Pistols is just committing to it. I think he's in the mindset that he has rockets and realizes that in most cases, it's really tough to take down a defensive rocket player. In most cases, you really want to force the rocket player to move across the map and forcefully get those kills. So I don't disagree with that play. He created an opportunity where they could make a mistake and just walk right into his rockets. So I think it was a good play by Pistola, but he eventually decided he committed way too much time there over at the bend and decided to push on out.
I was about to say he did look away at the wrong time for just a second. Now he's going to look at Redness as EnVyUs looks to try and capitalize on the 2 plots that they have. Trying to make work of the 3. He's going to waste the rocket, which is fair play, rather than give it to the enemy players. One person goes steaming through pit. One of them will also advance to catwalk. Snipe down left on his own here over at the platform. Going to try and get his shields back. Checks down below. BR is there as well. But one of his players, that's going to be Hook, takes control of Tommy. Can he get this kill? It'd be absolutely huge if he does. And again, the player's backed off, doesn't need to jump out willy-nilly. He's got a BR in hand, but he does know that there is a player creeping around that area, so he needs to be extremely careful, watch his back. Won't earn his second hit if he's there.
Yeah, Snipe Down just playing the numbers game. He was in a situation where he realized 2 or 3 members of Oxygen Supremacy already fell. He encountered somebody over at Blue Bend, got the, he was about even in shots there and decides not to challenge. Now, if Snipe Down was in a different situation, where if his team was down in numbers, I wouldn't be surprised to see Snipe Down challenging that. But once again, Oxygen Supremacy, as we start to count them out, they get 3 kills on the board. They already have 1 stronghold, and they're trying to get Blue Bend.
I think they're going to get Blue Bend, which will make that 1 into 2, Dave. Now they can stop the bleeding that EnVyUs have, 80 to 55. 5:30 remaining on the clock. Miklin's going to be jumping out onto Minicat. Destroyed, unfortunately, gets a little bit overzealous, chases that kill, and he does get punished for it. We can see one player on right up screen making an advancement on that Blue Bend, but he does have a player coming out of around the OS area. He goes down, unfortunately, turns around. We got Sniped down, just hanging outside the window. Oh, right, he was just jumping out, but it doesn't really matter because Destroyed there with the assist as well, so they eliminate that one player. Now they're going to take Catwalk. Jumps up, trying to avoid these grenades, but he does at least get Catwalk Dave before he dies.
That is huge. He now doesn't have to have other teammates break out of their positions to go secure that, but seems like damage is still done, though, as we saw Contra and both Nemesis fall. That was all 4 down for 1 moment for Oxygen Supremacy. EnVyUs get to position themselves wherever they want on the map.
But what I'm really impressed with, you've said that, Dave, but still, going off the respawn, we see Oxygen pushing straight back onto Blue. They've lost it, and they've taken it back straight away. However, they did do what you said. They moved into Nest, they advanced, they give up Blue Bend and offered it up in a trade for Red Nest. Now the time will keep on ticking, but still, I've got to give credit where credit's due, Dave. Oh, windy play there coming out of Mikan, who went for the Spartan charge, but unfortunately didn't find its target. Oxygen advanced, they take control of top Catwalk. Snipe down, though. I like the play. He's going to wait for players just to try and walk into, definitely inside Bend. But unfortunately, there's nobody there. He's just checking all these corners. Still thinks there's a player around here. Triple cap, though. This is looking scary for EnVyUs. They need to make something happen rather quickly.
Yeah, I was wondering why that player was showing so much up on radar. It felt like if a player is in that position, they shouldn't really be sprinting or using any Spartan abilities. So I'm not sure why that player from Oxygen Supremacy was. It may have been purposefully showing up on radar, trying to distract and get the attention of players, but that was quite odd.
That is so clutch. That rocket just stopped the push, and the triple cap still comes in play. I'm hearing screaming from the main stage, so I'm not exactly what went down, Dave. But honestly, I think this is going to be GG game number 1. Oxygen Supremacy, 100 points to 92. Laughs all around. Your number 2 seed goes down, game number 1. And I tell you what, they did not give up. They looked down and out at one point, but the pure pressure. And T-Squared talks about it all the time, Dave. When it comes to objective, Ryanoob, he is relentless, and he will just keep applying it time and time again. And honestly, it paid off.
You know, I almost would expect Envy to walk into this match. As much as they'd never want to overlook a team, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just like, all right, you know what? We just got to close out this game, and then we worry about Optic tomorrow. I don't think they realize that they're going to have to fight their way so tough through this winner's bracket semifinals.
16-15, 9-10, 13-11, 16 and 15. Only 1 negative on the side of Oxygen Supremacy, and that was from Destroy, but still 12 assists. 16, 15, and 15. Credit where credit's due to Ryanoob. 11 and 12 coming out of Pistola, 15, 13, 12 and 13. Unfortunately, Miquin with a 13 to 16 with 9 assists. I'll have a look at some of the KDs in the meantime, bring them up for you. Let's talk about them afterwards. Right now, though, it's all about this winner bracket semi-final best of 5 on your screen. 100 points to 92, Eden Strongholds game 1 going in the favor of Oxygen Supremacy. Coliseum Team Slayer Dave is coming up next.
Yeah, one thing I also want to give an update from the floor is Team Liquid just won, I believe that was game number 1 against Stray Rippin. They made, all I know is there's 164 on Rig Strongholds. So that is an update from the floor from the Liquid versus Straight series.
So that could potentially also be Straight following Evil Geniuses, Luminosity, and many others before them have been eliminated here on Saturday at the Ocean Center HCS Daytona. If you are just joining us, though, welcome along. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Joining us, you are now watching on your screens a winner bracket semi-final match. Team EnVyUs taking on Oxygen Supremacy. Oxygen Supremacy, kind of the underdogs so far. But you know what? This reminds me a little bit of what we saw before with the Cryptic roster. Again, you do have Contra on here now. It's a nasty little roster. These are some decent players, and to get a good start on Team EnVyUs like that, it's yeah, it's going to put the wind up Envy.
Well, here's the thing is, yeah, I can see different open teams or these new rosters coming up and placing within the top 8. That's not a concern for me, or that's not as much of a surprise to me because we have so much good Halo talent out there. What is a surprise to me is I pretty much consider those top 3 untouchable. When it comes to an open team just coming out,
yep,
I consider like them going against Optic, Envy, or Liquid, and it just being a stomp. I expect it to be a 3-0 or 3-1 in favor of those top-seeded teams. Yet, Oxygen Supremacy just blowing all my predictions out of the water when they take game number 1 like that.
So in the background, we are going to get a Team EnVyUs listening queued up. I want to hear how Envy's communication is, because at the moment they're all looking, you know, a little bit down. They're certainly not out, but not much conversation compared to this roster right here. It's all laughs and smiles around for Oxygen Supremacy. I don't think anyone kind of, you know, thought they would do so well. 2nd seed versus 11th seed. We do have Slayer on Coliseum. First team to grab 50 kills will be your victor once the times run down. If we haven't hit 50, the team with the most kills will also be the victor. Sniper rifle on map. New rockets also on map. You have these spankers. I like this change, you know, the H5 rockets, they're nice, but my God, the splash damage is absolutely unreal. Now I really feel like teams that can kind of fight back. Obviously, these don't do as much damage. So for me, definitely without question, a very, very nice trade. Contra, cracking work. 1, 2, 3, EnVyUs. My God, that's a very nasty start.
Yeah, that's not the start you want to see because we just saw 2 members of Oxygen Supremacy. We saw Contra grabbing the rockets, and then his teammate, I believe that was Destroyed or Rhino, who ended up grabbing that snipe on the opposite side of the map. So securing both power weapons within the first 30 seconds.
This is pretty nuts. The patience comes out of Contra. We do know that Cody has an absolutely cracking aim. He is a very nasty 1v1 player. There's 2 players there. Can he get this rocket off? My God, my word, yes, he can. 9-2. EnVyUs at the moment. They are not looking like a pro team. At the moment, we just see Oxygen Supremacy. They're just laughing at them. 11-2. We do have that listening teed up, but I just want to stick on Contra's POV. There's no point, no reason why we move off of this, so we'll stick with him until they die. But it's going to be even more important to listen to that EnVyUs listening, because 13-3. Dave, where the hell is EnVyUs?
I have no idea, and I don't think EnVyUs predicted anything like this to happen, especially being one last match of the night. We had a slight delay leading into this too. That could make them look cold, but there's nothing to take away here from how good Oxygen Supremacy is playing right now. Even if we had played this immediately. Like, look at how on fire they are. They aren't like just playing out of their minds or anything. They're just playing really good Halo. It's mind-blowing to me because most of the times when I see upsets, it's just pure chaotic matches. It's not like setups like we see from Contra right here, just playing safe and in positions. It seems like Envy are panicking and just running around the map.
Somebody kill him. Somebody bleeding kill this man. He's still alive. Will somebody finally take him down? Yes, he does. And that means now we can move across to a Team EnVyUs player. We've got the listening queued up, guys. Let's dive on into Envy and see how they're going to deal with this one.
I can't.
That's the red maze. I got it.
No. Rockets is close, guys. We can't get these.
I have a sniper.
No, we need to.
We have a time for pyramid.
There's a guy up on rockets right now.
Top academy, guys. You guys top academy. You guys top academy.
I got one.
Red maze on me. Red
Pyramid.
maze weak.
Where's red maze?
I killed the guy top
He's
cat.
still pyramid sniper.
Pyramid right now, sniping.
And grass.
Grass still.
Ah, shit, I'm by myself. I know.
Fuck with these spawns.
Alright, stay alive.
They don't know
I'm at red.
They
I'm
have
at
rockets
blue.
in blue somewhere, like in the
What?
snipe side.
I got one. No, he didn't die. I got him.
Nice.
I got a
Weak
sniper.
contra grass.
Sniper's
Weak
dead.
contra grass.
Sniper's off the map, I think. Sniper's off the map, I
Weak in
think.
grass.
There's sniper as well.
No.
Weak red sniper. Or weak
Maze right now.
red pyramid. Ryan.
They have rockets in blue maze, dude.
Yeah, rockets. Did you
got
kill
it.
the rocket?
No.
Top rocket.
Behind us,
Everybody,
blue.
Eric.
Yeah,
Top rocket.
Alright,
One shot at me, dude.
Alright, we can
Found.
we're just trying to live here.
Sniper in 5.
Alright,
He shot a rocket at me.
Alright, stay alive. New snipes coming up here. They're gonna
I
play.
spawned in the corner, guys.
Alright, we gotta play off all sides.
Push
Push me, sniper. Yo, corner, kill me.
I'm
Red
dead.
corner,
I
red
got
corner,
one.
kill
I
me.
traded. There's a guy blue window.
He's red corner. He's red flag nemesis.
We gotta watch each other's bags.
Yeah, we're
Literally
really
not
split.
communicating.
We're really
red,
split.
red rock corner. Going
I'm
top
top
rock.
Red maze right now.
Top right
Watch
rockets,
out,
yeah.
red maze with sniper.
And in front of red.
Red
Front of red
top
shot.
I got one over.
Watch out, front of red.
Back pyramid.
And a red window.
Red
Red window.
pyramid. I'm looking pyramid. I can't see
Red window to snipe side.
Yeah, he's on me. He's on me at the fountain. I'm living.
Get up, all you guys.
Red fountain. I'm living here.
Can't see anyone. There's no
Alright,
here.
he went back to the window.
Alright, I'm here.
I'm watching blue push behind.
Red window, 2 shots. I gotta stay
Red
alive.
window.
I have a full sniper.
Red
window
Full
weak.
sniper.
Can we help her?
No,
rockets.
red window weak.
Top rockets,
And
guys.
blue rocketry.
Where,
Top
guys?
rockets.
I'm looking at
We're
red
gonna
window.
red window. I'm one shot at snipe, guys.
And in the back of red. And in the back of red.
Stay alive.
Red window really
Alright,
weak.
hold on. Just making sure I'm pushing this.
I'm gonna shot the back.
I died from snipe.
Guys, they're at snipe.
This guy pushing me. Grass. Stay alive. Nice.
Punchers, one shot in the cave. One
I
shot.
can't finish
There's
this
another
guy.
snipe behind you.
There's a guy behind you.
Okay.
Snipe.
I'm top rockets. They're gonna
Grass.
have a sniper.
Okay, 1 shot, I think.
Rockets.
No,
This
I
guy,
died.
this guy weak bottom grass right now. One shot right now. Got him.
I mean,
This guy, red VR, red VR.
Red VR right now, weak guy.
Red found on me. Very weak, guys. Red cave.
One shot.
Absolute red couch.
Red shot. Red cave.
And I
on me,
got
guys.
stuck.
Blue VR.
I got stuck.
Red cave was one shot
I'm
on
top
me.
rockets.
Top rockets.
I'm
to
just
get him.
baiting rockets.
I got 2 here on me now.
Red cave very weak on Eric. You
Flat.
guys.
One army weak going
I have
down.
sniper, guys.
Getting killed from top rocket.
Top rockets
Top
on
cat.
I mean, I have snipe, but just watch.
I'm gonna die from red corner.
Red maze or blue.
Red maze.
Alright, red
Top
corner.
snipe on me
Look
as
out for the
well.
rockets as well.
One shot at me. Top snipe.
I mean, Dave, what do we say? 17-42. This is messy.
Yeah. Envy is about to get staked by the number 11 seed in the tournament. Team that had to go through the open bracket and work their way through multiple pro teams. They had to beat Straight Rippin'. They had to beat LG. This is no easy bracket for Oxygen Supremacy.
All I can imagine now is that Simpsons meme where it's like, stop, they're already dead. 19-45, 7 minutes, 5 seconds remaining on the clock. 4 more kills here for Oxygen Supremacy, and they're going to be taking a very, very convincing victory here in Coliseum Team Slayer. Make that 1 more kill. Ryan hunting it down. I think he's found it. Does he have any grenades? Of course he does. Bags them off the corner. There's the hit markers, and there you have it. GG. Breathing Oxygen on the T-shirt. I don't know what they're breathing. It can't be oxygen because these guys are absolutely on fire. We'll take a look at the stats and kick them up in a second to show you who was the absolute beast mode on that roster. And for me, well, what do you know? What do you know?
Mr. doesn't miss himself.
Can I just take a moment to appreciate, Dave, when the viewers at home see this stat line? Not only the kills, but the deaths.
Well, I mean, when you have 20 deaths over the course of the entire game, it's going to look good for everybody.
19-3 for Contra. That is absolutely disgusting. That is truly disgusting. 13-6 for Destroyed. Nemesis 13-6. 5-8 for Rhino, negative, but who cares? It's all about the win. 6-12, 6-13, 5-11. Ooh, Hook 3-14. Certainly not a stat line we see coming out of that young man. You guys at home, I do know you enjoy seeing the KDs and damage dealt, so there you go on screen. Pistola, less than 1k damage. That's a bit rough.
I don't know. Anytime you have a game that's like a 50-20 game, a slaughter like that, stats start to become fairly irrelevant. I mean, even look at the stats. Ryan Noob, like you said, went negative. But does it matter? If your team wins 50-20, I don't care if I go negative.
I'm blown away. I'm actually in quite a lot of shock and loss for words. Anyway, it's time to check it off. Can Team EnVyUs pull the reverse sweep? They have a tough mountain to climb. Truth CTF will be your third and potentially final game type if EnVyUs don't pull the heads out of the backside, because 50-20, that's rough, man. That is a really rough stat line to come off and roll into a game number 3.
Well, they have the luxury of this being a objective game, which generally is supposed to take longer. I mean, we've seen some anomalies from Splice, clearly, about how fast they can win a true CTF game. I don't know if we're going to be seeing that again, but whole point being is an objective game where they can just start to get their slays down. They just need to get their groove, because on a game type like Strongholds, obviously the clock is ticking against them the whole time. Anytime they don't have 2 Strongholds controlled, they have to make a push as a team, maybe before they're even ready to. Whereas on true CTF, they can kind of get their slaying groove. They can get a few slays and maybe not pull the flag immediately. Maybe just say, all right, let's get back into the series. Let's make sure we're comfortable before we pull this flag. Let's shut down all these flanks from the members of Oxygen Supremacy.
And I believe if this is game number 2 we are watching on the Observer PC, if it's game number 2, Team Liquid have claimed victory in Truth TS 52-39. 17 kills coming out of Rain. That's huge. Down at the bottom, A 7 and 12, 8 and 10, 10 and 14, 14 and 14 for Denoxide. 14 and 7 though, Stella, with an absolutely fantastic line. So I believe that is game number 2 in that elimination matchup. But let's pull it back to this one right now on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. And I've got to say, Dave, this looks like a broken and battered Team EnVyUs. Your second seed here at HCS Daytona, currently just being slapped around by Oxygen Supremacy. Let's see if they can turn it around. Truth CTF. Tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS, hashtag HCS Daytona. Give me a 1 in the Twitch chat if you believe Team EnVyUs can bring back with the reverse sweep. Give me a 2 if you think Contra and the boys are just going to do the damage and send EnVyUs to the loser bracket.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Now, one thing I noticed towards the end of that series, I believe it was Destroyed, who was yelling a few things over at EnVyUs, which he rightfully should be pumped up. However, I've had a couple experiences trash talking to Snipedown. We've seen it even happen before over at X Games. Snipedown is truly one of those competitors where if people get him angry, he thrives off of that emotion. He knows how to thrive under that pressure. And look at that so far. He's been shooting very well. He's gotten the flag pull out. We see the kill feed in the favor of Envy right now. I believe it's 9-2. They are already getting the groove back at the start of this Truth CTF game.
I believe that's all 4 dead, so it's going to be a nice, easy camp for him, potentially even a stealth. Yes, it is indeed. The medal comes up. And all of a sudden, Snipe down. Well, he's taking top middle control. And right now, EnVyUs, they are slaughtering, absolutely slaughtering. It's 13-3 coming out of Team Envy. And all of a sudden, we got another flag beam run. They're already 1-0 up. Unfortunately, misses that one. A little bit of a mistake there coming out of Eric Rona Snipe down, but he goes back. He's able to grab it. More than likely going to... No, in fact, he manages to get it out. So nice play from him. Desperate, so he gets it further. Jump on board with Pistola, going one-on-one with one player. Knows he's around the corner. They both missed the beatdown, unfortunately. Pistola, he's going to be in the losing position of that one. Mikwin's here with the second, but the flag has been pulled. And unfortunately, a couple of missed jumps here and there.
Quite a few fumbles. I mean, these are just the basics of Halo, knowing how to the flag run that, to make a few of those jumps. It just feels like EnVyUs just botching what should be an easy flag run. I mean, that was their flag. There was nothing stopping them if they did not drop that flag once.
So previously, we got you a listening with Team EnVyUs. This time, it'd be great if we could tee up a listening with Oxygen Supremacy over on the blue team, because they're going to be loud, they're going to be proud. They've also drawn up, Dave, 2 minutes into this game, and both teams have a cap on the board. It's 1 apiece. This is just an absolutely incredible, incredible game. So you know what? Let's dive on in. We've got that listening ready. Let's listen to the teamwork and the communication of Oxygen Supremacy.
Are you alive?
Got it. 2 dead, 2 dead.
Oh!
3 dead. Check
Yeah,
it.
he's spawning glass.
Yeah,
They have camo somewhere. I hope it's it.
Yeah,
it's up now, it's up
It's up
now.
now.
I have shots.
Good job.
Shot 3 left.
And to the
There's
street.
2 their basement, 2 their
Watch our
basement. Going their court right now.
We're good.
P1 and P2.
Our street.
One dead, 1 dead.
2 dead.
Cody, I'm going.
Field on Ryan.
They're street. He's
They're 2 dead, 2 dead.
Bottom blue.
You can get the
Slide
south,
down.
Cody.
What's you dead?
He's going
Just
for a
trying to stay
flag.
alive.
Yes,
base,
everybody's got to stay alive. Do not go back to our flag here.
One shot their Eli. One's gonna be back for glass.
One drop there.
Glass.
Yep, you dropped the lift. You lifted back up.
Glass,
Shot the
yeah.
flag. Flag is
One
dead.
dead.
I got Rhea.
Thirty
Eli.
lives.
You
Naded
should
you,
be
bro.
good. You should be good.
One shot their window. Through the window. And
Nice.
I got
Live
on our
now,
base.
live now.
He's on our base.
Time in weak.
What side is? Where is
Time in weak.
You
Cardboard.
guys are Eli.
Got him.
Our base
One
still
dead,
weak.
one dead.
Our Piatek weak. Our Eli. Our Eli. One shot. One shot. Our Eli didn't die.
One shot,
He's
their
on front
Eli.
base. He's on
Their
front
Eli
base.
weak.
He's on front base pink. He's
I
on
don't see him,
still
I
on
don't
front
see
base pink.
I don't
He's
see him, bro.
going in pink one. He went pink one. One
Hit him with
shot.
an
Still there. Still
Two
P1
shots.
weak.
2 shots for our base pink.
We got car 2.
Hey, Camel's our Eli one.
Car 2.
One shot at corner.
Arcado, Ryan. Arcado, Ryan.
So still one apiece there, but I tell you what, it's Team EnVyUs. They are well and truly in the driving seat here. 35 kills in total, as opposed to look. Unfortunately, Oxygen Supremacy, they only have 22, so heavily outslayed. But I tell you what, they're still putting the pressure on them. They're still managing to pull these flags, kind of drive EnVyUs back a little bit. It's not transitioning and doesn't really tell the story of the game.
Yeah, I would consider this to be a 2-1 game based on that flag run that was messed up. So I feel like that one was, you can chalk up to just execution mistakes from EnVyUs' part to run that flag back. So with that being said, I feel like they're still doing okay as far as slaying-wise and objective efficiency-wise, seeing how we're seeing that actual second flag being put in and Mikwin getting that wingman medal. Just kill after kill going in favor of EnVyUs. They're back in the driver's seat, like you said.
And they've also managed to get that second flag cap, what they tried to get before. 2-1 now, Team EnVyUs leading the charge here. And really putting the pressure, really giving it and sticking it to Oxygen Supremacy. Kind of punishment from what they did to them in the previous round. It's night and day. That's, I believe, potentially even a triple kill for Hook. I've just seen in the kill feed. He's going down for the overkill. Just misses that ground pound as well. You can see on screen there. But Hook doing some serious work right now for his team. Mikwin also supporting. Double kill pops in. Another grenade coming in from upside, but you can see here comes the flag run, potentially the third and final one for Team EnVyUs. However, on the side of Oxygen, Dave, they've got other ideas. They've got other plans. They've managed to drag out the flag.
Yeah, they got a desperate pull on it. They're going to bring this out to a stalemate situation, ideally, but I think EnVyUs are collapsing in towards this car side. I like how Mikwin has it in his mind that there might be some sort of sneaky recovery, so he went back to get that flag. His teammates recovering it over on car side.
That's it.
Almost got it, but
No.
nope. Flag was pulled once again. I believe that was Destroyed, who now has the flag.
Wow. I literally was looking at Hook on there, and I just thought, well, he's going to get it. But lovely play here from Mikwin. Sticks him straight across the map. Killing Frenzy as well. Mikwin's going for the return. All the members, can he get this kill? If he does, that's going to be it, I believe, so long as someone's there on Team EnVyUs to pick it up. And yes, they are. Team Envy, they answer back. They take game number 3, 3 caps to 1. And I tell you what, 58 kills coming out of Team EnVyUs. Over on the opposing side, 29 from Oxygen Supremacy. Night and day.
Exactly
Dave.
doubled.
Night
Exactly
and
doubled.
day. That is just... I mean, how do you go from getting completely smacked around one game to being the smacker on the previous? That's so...
You just take a game at a time. Like I said, in certain cases, if you lose a game by a significant margin, you and your whole team realize, all right, we just need to change things up. We need to start playing our game. Take every life seriously. Start winning your fights. When your back's against the wall, you really have nothing to lose, like especially when you're in the loser's bracket of a tournament.
That's insane. Contra going 5-15 again, a night and day kind of stat line from what he did in the previous rounds. Just to confirm and just get you the final okay, we did see previous, what I mentioned, it was indeed straight ripping down 2-0 to Team Liquid in that elimination loser bracket matchup. Me and Dave are looking at the screen here on the side. It's currently 2-0 on Coliseum CTF for Team Liquid. So if they get that third and final cap, unfortunately, that's going to be straight eliminated from the competition. We'll give you updates on the floor as that happens. And we're actually watching another flag potentially running, but we'll come back to this game as we get map number 4 about underway.
Yes, this one will be Plaza Stronghold. So, I mean, if we see any sort of slaying prowess like that once again for Envy, you can be sure that they're going to bring this to a game 5. We're going to have to see what Oxygen Supremacy has to say about this. It felt like a lot of times when they got some of their one-on-ones that they desired, they were doing well, but that truth game, like you said, it just felt like night and day for these squads. I've rarely ever seen a team turn around that much.
Yeah.
Go from a game where they get beat 50-20 and then somehow absolutely dominate and get 60 kills the following game to the opposing 30.
I mean, is it literally just a team having a good game and a team having a bad game? Is it just a simple case of that?
I mean, 50-20 and 58-29 as far as slays. There's a big difference between good and bad games in those differences. So I really don't know. It just seemed like they started to catch the groove. Like, even right there, when we're watching some of these highlights, like, Hook just feels like all those little things adding up that weren't going their way. Maybe they just finally were able to step it up and just dominate, because right off the bat, you saw how confident this EnVyUs roster played.
Still looking across at the board while we're getting these replays underway and out of the way. Still seeing this battle going on between Liquid and Straight. I am convinced that, in fact, Straight have actually managed to put another flag in on Quality S. It's now 2-1. Still in that game, however, if Liquid, they bag another flag, it looks like Straight will be going home. But Game 4, we're locked, we're loaded. The server is about to go live. We'll get you this game number 4 underway. Team EnVyUs, you are just joining us, managing to claw one back in game number 3 and force Game 4. Can we see the reverse sweep? Or will we see EnVyUs going down to the loser bracket? Strongholds on Plaza, Dave. First team to bag 100 points will win. Initial thoughts on Plaza, Strongholds, my friend?
Well, this is going to be an opportunity for Ryan Noob and the Oxygen Supremacy squad to do some flanks, try to see if EnVyUs are going to appropriate the correct amount of players towards yard, as well as tricky situations that once you get control of yard, or once you get control of the center of the map, it's how many people do you send to yard? Do you send any there when you have control of the center of the map? And usually the answer is yes, depending on how many kills you've got.
Off screen then, looks like Straight Ripon have been eliminated from the competition. I will get my admins to confirm that in my ear, because I have made mistakes before. We all want to talk about Vegas. Snipe down now, looking inside yard, picks off one, that's going to be destroyed. Finds another over at Hotel. Also, more than likely look for his teammates to be calling that one. You can see Ola is creeping around. Will he get the kill though? Yes, he will indeed. Contra goes down, looking across at Nest. And at the moment, it's Team EnVyUs who have the upper hand. Turns around the corner. The barrel's still up, though, so he needs to be careful. He's going to lose his shield. And then we'll see Nemesis come in with the assist, clean up that kill. As Pistola, he looks on at Nest, and that's going to be their next target.
Yes, just trying to get over towards Nest. Even though his team currently has it, he's not going to trade bottom center for Nest. Nest is such a powerful position, and he's not even guaranteed to get bottom center. That's the scary part, is you have so many different angles where you can be attacked from. It can be Nest side, it can be driveway, it can be soda. You're almost guaranteed to have the first shot against you when going in the bomb center stronghold, which is why you always want to have numbers when pushing there.
And yes, indeed, I can confirm Straight Ripon have now been eliminated from the competition by Team Liquid. Let's move back to this game, though, because things are starting to heat up. We've got Ryanu, we've got Oxygen Supremacy. They have a triple cap, in effect, spins around to the pinhead, doesn't manage to grab that triple kill. Contra, he's on his heels, though. We see one player, unfortunately, going to grenade his teammate, I think, just there, or at least attempt to keep himself alive as he backs off. Grenades coming in thick and fast, left and right. Two more there, snipe down, I believe, as well. Is that going to be Hook or Mick? Potentially snipe down from across the map, though. 1, 2, 3 members go down of Oxygen Supremacy. Ryan Noob is also dead. Nemesis picks up one, and that's going to be all 4 down.
That was a huge kill by Nemesis, though, picking off that player on top gold. That's just going to ensure that Envy don't get some sort of full setup here on the map. Looks like Destroy trying to buy some time, but not the best spot to be when the opponents spawn, because they're going to have grenades.
Here we go then, triple cap being transferred back into the hands of Team EnVyUs. Rhino tags up one, pushing him back from goal. Is he standing his ground? Yes, he is. He's moving his way onto pipes. Needs to be careful. Ground pound down. Manages to get out of the way. Doesn't spin around in time. Snipe down. Read it like a buck. Thrust it out of the way and ended his life. Contra looking down the barrel of the gun, making sure no one advances from Cafe into this yard area. Sees his teammate fall behind him. Knows there's someone down at light rifle, so needs to be careful. Also top gold. There's the player. Gets a couple of shots, but unfortunately Mikwin reads that one too. Will get the beat down. Hook also coming in onto Ryanu. But players just working together to slaughter off the spawn, though, Dave.
This is that situation I talked about where teams have to decide how many players are they going to send towards yard. And EnVyUs' answer is at least 2. Even though they had control of the side of the map, they realized they got a kill or 2 and want to just continue to push that trip cap. Look at this right now. 2 more down, double kill from Mikwin. Even though this capture was reverted in favor of Oxygen Supremacy, the damage has been done. They've had to give up so many lives just to stop the bleeding.
Then Snipe Down comes in to clean up the last one. That's going to be destroyed. Perfect kill for him. Also grabs the shotgun, sticks it in his back pocket. Just watching around this area because he knows players are going to be spawning and moving in from that car side. We'll now look towards Mikwin, who will try and advance over to yard. He's going to take Cafe so they can't push around and make their way into the nest. Contra gets away with his life. Mikwin avoids the grenade, puts him down himself. That player's going to rush back. It's actually going to be Contra who fights Mikwin. We talk about Contra's aim, and there you go. It just shone straight through it. Hook will answer back and at least finish off Contra.
That was a great job by Envy right there. Still just holding the ground. Still holding these 2 strongholds. even though they've gotten a couple trip caps and it's been for just a short period of time, they've done a really good job with this Nest bottom center combo.
So speaking of bottom middle, see how this one pans out. This will be an important one. We do have EnVyUs leading the chat, 69 points, 228 destroyed. Will challenge all, unfortunately. He will lose, challenge the Wizard, and you're going to pay the price. Eric Rona steps up, snipe down, finishes off with a second plot. 70-30 is your current scoreline. You know, you're 40 points down. Still, we've mentioned before how rubber band this game type can be, Dave. It's not over yet. Perfect kill comes out of snipe down. You will get the trade-off with Contra. Grenades coming in from Nemesis, trying to find some hit markers and get some information from anybody over at Nest as he looks on down towards Loop and at least get some information from his teammates, and now you can see him pushing into him.
Now, one thing I'm concerned about is Oxygen Supremacy. As soon as they start to get some foothold on the map, they go towards Bomb Center Stronghold. Looks like they're also getting Nest at the same time, which is a high-risk, high-reward situation because at any point, someone could have flown towards bottom center and stopped either of those strongholds. Looked like it paid off for Oxygen Supremacy in this exact situation, but it just goes to show the kind of plays that they go for. They go for high-reward situations. Doesn't matter the risk.
Midwin's going to hide. Will he still alive? No, he will not. And a fantastic reset coming out of Nemesis. He also picks up a double kill as well. That's going to be sniped down. Rhino comes around, punches him in the face, takes him down, and pushes him out of the light rifle area. Now he's going to be up on pipes, but he gets caught off guard. He did have no shields, unfortunately, was an easy cleanup. Contra looking towards bottom middle. You're going to see Destroyed moving in, so it's time to go. But I'll tell you what, this player behind him, it's actually going to be Midwin, was hot on his heels. Hook also with a double kill. So pretty much just clearing out bottom mid. We're going to see Ryan Noob waiting as long as possible, but unfortunately he's got no support from his teammates, so they now will lose bottom. And also, triple caps in full effect. I think that's going to be GG, nailing the coffin.
Yeah, this one's going to be really tough. Envy did a really good job always holding that center strongholds like I talked about before, and they've also just continually pressured yard. So I wouldn't be surprised to still see someone over here by this gold ledge, because every single time they started to break out of yard, there's Midwin or another player on the gold ledge just pressuring it.
The grenade went in, so he did have some information. Unfortunately, two players were behind him. That's going to be Midwin and Pistola working together. They tag up yard, and now they push through Cafe. Look at, I believe that was Hook who actually just went down, but it doesn't matter. We are all drawn up to a piece. Will we get the reverse sweep? There's still a chance for Oxygen Supremacy to send this EnVyUs roster to the loser bracket, but EnVyUs, you know, you're not number 2 in the world for a reason, Dave. It's still, regardless of the 2 games that they lost early on, you know, that second game, man, it was pretty rough, but certainly not all smiles and fist bumps before over on that Oxygen Supremacy roster side. Let's take a look at the kills and show you who went off, and honestly, no surprise. We saw his name coming up time and time again, Hook. 19 and 12.
Hook absolutely dominating there. Now, one thing we talked about before with Nemesis and Destroyed is they talked about they're getting revenge for the OC event where they got reverse swept by EnVyUs. Or is history just going to repeat itself?
That's the second time, I believe, that Contra's got 5 kills back-to-back. Fair enough, he's got a couple of assists, but we saw 15 deaths out of him previous and now 16. Things not going too well in Camp Contra over there. Let's see if he can turn things around and pull out another stat line like he did in game number 2. Game 5, tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS. Game 5 alert, guys. Will we see Envy carrying on, advancing forward in the upper bracket? Or will we see Team EnVyUs fall at the hands of Oxygen Supremacy and go down to that loser's side? I believe the loser of this will play Liquid. Am I right in thinking?
That sounds correct.
Potentially Splice, actually.
Splice. It's Splice.
Excuse me. Yeah,
loser plays
indeed.
Splice.
The loser of this will be playing Splice. That's a rough game. That's going to be a spicy game.
That's the thing I'm talking about too with Oxygen Supremacy is regardless of how far they go in this tournament, whether they make it to winners finals or whether they end up getting knocked out of this tournament fully, they had a tough bracket.
They did. They did.
The teams they had to play, the teams they had to beat, just absolute powerhouses.
And honestly, I think they've done quite well. I mean, there's still a chance that they could carry on through this upper bracket. We'll soon find out. And we're going to be finding out on the Rig Team Slayer. Can you... I'm going to ask you, Dave. Can you look back to the previous Slayer and kind of say, well, you know, they beat him 50-20. It's a Slayer that can do it again. Is it simple as that?
It's not as simple as that. I mean, anytime you have some sort of 50-20 matchup like that, it's either A, one team got an absolute perfect start, rolled through, and had the most incredible game, or you have the teams completely mismatched. You have a top squad versus a much lower squad. I think we can both agree that that's not the case here. We don't have two disparaging teams here of extreme differing skill levels. So to that, I'm going to say Coliseum was just one hell of a game there from Oxygen Supremacy. You have to give credit where they got all the weapons. They did a good job staying alive. They just went on a tear. But if they played Coliseum Team Slayer even again for Game 5, I wouldn't even expect to see a stake.
So we will get a listening with Team EnVyUs lined up straight off the bat. I'll tell you what, last time we listened to them, they were unfortunately taking a bit of a beating on Coliseum. So we'll see how they fare up and the communication is on this Slayer the second time round. And this time it's going to be on the rig. Remember, tweet that stream, use the hashtag HCS and HCS Daytona. If you stick the stream link in, also, you have a chance at bagging yourself an Xbox One S. Thoughts so far this weekend, Dave? So obviously we've seen these new settings coming into play.
Yeah, and maybe we haven't given enough credit to Oxygen Supremacy for the new saying changes for how well they're doing. Maybe these players have a full squad of players who have benefited from sayings changes, and they know how to thrive in those chaotic situations, get more flanks, win their one-on-ones without having the awareness of radar. That is a very valid point that could be taking place here with this squad. But thoughts so far this weekend is I've enjoyed watching a lot of these teams battle it out. We've had some disappointing technical errors that we worked through and we're, going forward with throughout the rest of the stream. So I'm super happy with the hardworking crew we have here. But like I said, super happy with the Halo. We're working on our issues, and I can't wait to see this game number 5.
Here we go then. Rock and roll. Destroy takes out 1, 2 to 2, all tied up. 2 members on each side. Person dies, and that one is a third one. Ryan will bag himself the sniper rifle. He's been called out, though, but he reads it like a book. Pistola comes down, just gets bodied as he will hit the floor. Jumping up, going to get some support. I like this. He's got one teammate, unfortunately, one just died to his right-hand side, but I like how they're kind of funneling out. Gets a grenade hit marker, so he's got some information. He's going to be knowing where that player is. He's hard scoping in. You can kind of get a feel, but no defense. He's been completely flanked. Welcome to the base movement turned off on radar. It's as simple as that.
Incredible flank there by EnVyUs. You even saw Ryan prepared for it, looking all around and still caught off guard in the bunker.
And now look who's got the sniper rifle. We are going to, here we go, the Rona show is about to start. Snipe down, hiding back in bunker. We will get this listening with EnVyUs ready to go. We want to hear how this team is faring up. I definitely think that you're going to be happier. I mean, you're going to be kind of had your head down previously, especially when probably didn't go to a listener at the best of times to them up on Coliseum. Snipe down will try and back off. Doesn't get that no-scope. Unfortunately, he will fall. 11-6 current scoreline. Pistola moving down through the basement. Will he find that sniper rifle? Potentially. It may have been picked up by somebody else, just hovering around, making sure that no members of Oxygen Supremacy flank from this Tower 2 side.
Yeah, they're almost guaranteed to re-secure that. Snipe down is not going to push over towards that snipe hall unless he has teammates already in that position, ready to go help him out. So I don't expect Oxygen Supremacy to end up walking away with that sniper. At the same time, though, I don't see it in anyone else's hands. I didn't get an exact ammo count on that one. Yeah. I didn't think it was too low. I thought there was at least a couple bullets left.
I mean, speaking of bullets, there's a fair few flying around this map. I'm just seeing Envy time and time again in the kill feed. Pistola tries to back off, unfortunately. Doesn't quite hack it. Who comes in, though, and that's going to be a nice and easy cleanup for him. Mikwin hard scoping down on that basement area. You see it. I love the fact that these players, their communication, even though we can't hear it, they just know exactly what's going down. Like, players will spin around, and even though you don't see them all appear on the radar, it just comes from listening to your teammates, listening to your coach, knowing where these players are going to be. Even using it. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. I thought we were going to get the ninja. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Mikwin challenges.
Wow.
Ola comes in with the charge and just butts him in the back. See you later, my friend.
Thought it was a one-on-one with a weak Mikwin, and a wizard just comes dashing right in to save the day. That was absolutely incredible by Ola. great backup too, just knowing that he gave away his position on the map, started sprinting around the corner to get the Spartan charge, just so he could be there that slight bit faster and help out Mickwin.
Well, you know what, guys? We do have the listening ready to rock on rolls. Let's dive on into the team audio with Team EnVyUs.
Pipe, right now. Bottom rail. Yeah,
I'm trying to
bottom
get
rail.
this BR.
He ran
I got
top row.
BR.
Two top row. Two top row. They're both
Weak,
weak
top
top
row.
top nest.
I mean,
I'm
top
making
net,
sure
top
that
rail.
Top row absolute. Top row absolute.
Guys,
I'm trying to
They're both weak. They're both
Hold on,
fucking
we're
one
making
shot.
Top rail, they got
Got one shot. I got one.
Nice. There's
I'm
another one there.
top snipe right now.
Bottom row. Bottom row. Bottom row.
And
Bunker.
and bunker.
Bottom row.
One very weak. At the
One?
SMG.
I don't see anyone
Got a
bottom
real
row.
weak. I
was
have
a-
the nade. I
he
have the
was
nade too.
He might be in the corner. Might be in
I'm
the
coming,
corner.
I'm coming, Austin. I'm right here.
On me.
I got one.
Oh,
One
shit,
shot
my
by
bad.
X on the ground.
He's behind us. He's weak down. He's two shots here.
One shot.
One
One
shot.
shot.
One shot.
He's got away. He's got away. Bottom nest. Bottom nest.
Calm down. Calm down.
Bottom nest sniper, guys.
I want.
Bottom nest sniping.
Bottom net sniping. That's right still.
Open field and bottom nest sniping. I'm getting naded.
Camel's
Open field,
soon.
shot.
Camel's soon.
Yo, sniping.
I'm not sniping. I'm not sniping.
Open field, 3 shots.
He's open field with snipe.
Watch out for snipe ball push.
Bottom net snipe. Bottom net
Camo's
snipe.
up right now. Snipe ball.
Top
Snipe ball on us.
One shot bottom nest.
We get it?
Hit him in the
We
head.
get it?
When is it?
Like 49. There you go.
We
got it, we got it.
Nice. Bottom nest. Still sniping.
Oh, I got picked. I got picked.
White corner right
Pass
here.
it.
Shot.
Shot.
Pass.
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to
push
live.
him.
I'm just pushing.
Another guy behind
I
me.
got killed from
Stay
back.
alive, guys. No more deaths. No more deaths.
Okay. Just hide there real quick.
We need to
there,
calm
and I'm
down
about to
as
spawn her. Yes.
They're fine.
Alright, yep. I am
I hit a guy,
gonna
bro.
be.
Let's go to
bunker.
scatter.
Alright. He's sniping E2.
Alright.
Just
I
got
got nades on
sniped.
it. Where'd he go?
He went to the bat ledge area. Look out for underpass.
Getting hit
They
by
could
Right corner and
push-
snipe ball.
Kyle,
Right
one
corner
shot.
and snipe ball.
They could be pushing
Guys,
underpass.
yeah, they're trying to push you too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
underpass. With snipe.
call.
One shot.
One shot.
Absolute.
I'm pushing.
Bottom nest.
Hit it.
Hold on, I'm
Oh,
nading
got
it.
One shot middle shot. One shot middle scatter. One shot middle scatter. I can't finish him.
I got him.
Cat.
Fucking cat. I have your help. I have your help.
He's on the nerd.
Yeah, he's zoned twice.
Dead. Nice.
One lost guy somewhere.
I'm devouring
I don't
these
know.
fucking kids. I'm going carbine
Rail
to snipe.
street right now. Watch out.
Trying to come to you.
Top nest. Top
Got him.
side.
Back bunker. Back bunker.
Bunker's gonna pick me, but I got rail street. I can
Anyone?
We have snipe.
You want to look at my deck cam.
29-21 here as we see EnVyUs really applying the pressure, really getting a nice buffer and taking control of the map. And just as I say that, 5 bullets in the chamber, Mickwin, he opts. I mean, you know, going where he did, at least he had his teammates spawn on him. And we're going to say, is it really kind of a good... Oh my Jesus! Snipe down with the quickest scope of 2017 comes in. Unfortunately, one player is going to lose the face. He will fall down. As we see now, Mickwin and Pistola, they're pressing hard on this back rail. They don't want to let Oxygen Supremacy set up in any way.
Well, that lead, which was originally 9, has now dwindled down to only a 5-kill lead. Luckily, there wasn't much sniper ammo left over in that sniper, so they're not going to be able to extend that too much further if they grab that weapon from Snipe Down's body. But in the end, the damage has been done. One thing I was concerned about is once Mickwin rotated over there, hitting that snipe shot is absolutely crucial. He just needs to be more concerned about his actual positioning where he can do some damage, because Rig is one of those Slayer matches where you can get pinned in area. As safe as it seems like going to Carbine or going to Bunker, if you don't have backup from other positionings, you and your team can get pinned in that one small spot, and instead of just one player dying, 2 or 3 deaths can occur. But Wizard doing Wizard things, getting his team out of that rough situation, and here's the pinch going in towards Bunker.
He had no shield and he got a double kill. Just Wizard things. Pistola doing God's work. Snipe Down as well, doing what Snipe Down does best and just taking faces. Pistola again with the very cheeky flank, does get the call out. Killing spree comes in, finds another player. Will he get this 5? Pre-fires as well. Try and tanks him up. He's staying alive though. Finally, they do take him out. But even though he'll do that, Dave, and fair enough, if he doesn't get the kill but just stays alive for so long, it causes Oxygen Supremacy just to focus on him while his teammates just collapse in.
I always call it opportunistic time. He's buying times where his teammates can get an extra shot, get the lead in a fight against an opponent. He buys time where his teammates can flank out, get better positioning. There's just so much time for his teammates to do anything they truly want to, and they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to get better position, they're going to get shots on opponents, and they're going to walk away with this game number 5 as we now see Envy at 49 kills to Oxygen's 34.
Oh, don't let it happen. Unfortunately, it doesn't. There it is. Snipe Down. Reversal, baby. Get swept. Oxygen Supremacy. Amazing and incredible comeback from Team EnVyUs. Oh, my word. I tell you what, after that second game, I thought that was GG no re. That was a beating, and I've got to give credit where credit's due. Awesome work from Team EnVyUs to come back from that one.
History repeats itself. They're one of the best teams in the world for a reason. Even when you count them down and knock them down, they can come back after losing a 50-20 Team Slayer game and clean up, sweep the series.
I'm seeing a little. I shouldn't do this, and I feel really bad for doing it. But 15, 16, and 15. That's been 3 games with maximum deaths coming out of Contra.
Yeah, most
I
deaths.
don't like to call it out, but it's just one stat that I keep noticing.
And I think you also mentioned it was what 5, 5, and 6 the last 3 games he had as far as slays.
Yeah,
5, 5, and 6. So
15, 16,
in the last
15.
3 games, he got fewer kills than he got in the 1 Team Slayer match on Coliseum.
That's what, is it 5, 10? That may be...
Yeah, that'd be 16,
16.
compared to his 19 slays.
Oh my god, that's... it's not going to help in a Slay match especially, but we'll move across the negative and move into the positive. Hook, 15-9. Absolutely incredible. 14-7 coming out of Mikuin, doubling the scoreline. Let's move across to the Kiddies. 7.0, 9.3 coming out of Hook and Mikuin. 2.4k damage coming out of Mikuin also. 61% accuracy coming out of Hook. I mean, that's saying something.
Also, a lot of props to Ryan. 2k damage, 60% damage, or 60% accuracy during that last round. Even though he went even, I mean, you can't expect. I feel like in most cases, if someone's going significantly positive, if your team lost in a situation where it's like 50-35, you're probably statting. You're probably doing something wrong if you go significantly positive and your team loses by that margin. So I didn't see Ryan Noob doing much wrong there. He was doing as much damage as he can, pushing and dying with his team, but didn't work out well for Oxygen Supremacy during that last game, or should I say the last 3 games.
All right, then, guys, we do have one more matchup coming onto your streams tonight, so do not go anywhere. But for now, from me and Walshy, we're going to throw this